Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 2v2v2v2 match on the map Destruction Derby. I'm starting in the bottom left hand side and I'm playing as the Allies. Now for those of you who know the map Destruction Derby, basically there's a lot of ore patches across the map, but in the middle of the map there is an island full of gems. Now starting from the bottom left hand position, the entrance to the gem island is at the top of the map. There are 8 players in this game, so it's not really going to be an easy task to get there, and it's going to be more of a case of trying to find out if there is a player, taking gems from the island and stopping them if they are quite early on, because any player that is mining the gems is going to have a big advantage over the other players, because gems are just so much more valuable. So at the moment you can see I'm getting my scouts out quickly, having a look around, seeing who's close to me. Now you can see there's that player playing in the bottom middle position. I'm not going to be too worried about that player. I'm just bringing my infantry back there, because usually what happens is the bottom middle player tends to attack the person to the right of them in the bottom right hand position, and that's just because their ore is to the right hand side, and that's where they need to defend more. So from my position, what I'm going to be looking at is I'm going to be looking more at the team above me. And as you can see, I've just got my infantry, first of all, to defend from other infantry getting into my base. That's the main thing I want to prevent. And just sending 1 or 2 out just to have a little bit of a scout around. And we can see this player above me is very, very close. I'm not sure if he's actually moved a little bit down, but you can see he is extremely close to me, so I'm going to have to deal with that very early on. And you can see I've already got my my tanks out, and we're just having a look at what position he's in at the moment. Now this player I'm playing against is playing as the Soviet, so I am going to have to be careful. And we can see a big power plant going up. And when you see a big power plant like that going up, what that usually indicates is Tesla coils. Because quite often Soviet players will build Tesla coils early on, and that's just to prevent the Allies from doing like a sort of light tank rusher, because a lot of Soviet players, well Allied players I mean, will dive in with light tanks and try and take out the construction yard very early on. I'm just getting a pillbox there, it's more to deal with any infantry the enemy has. The pillboxes do minor damage to heavy tanks, and I'm just trying to destroy the tanks as quickly as possible. And you can actually see the player has actually built a ore refinery and not a Tesla coil like I was a bit more worried about. And you can see I've been transitioning to medium tanks, because medium tanks do hold up a lot better. With light tanks they can just be like taken out with 1 shot. I'm just going for his ore truck, and that's going to disrupt his economy and mean he's spent a lot of money in that ore refinery, which is practically now useless. So we're just keeping on moving around, keeping on improving our own economy and getting those tanks out. As you can see, I am quite short on funds at the moment. And we're just, I mean, it's just about getting these tanks and keeping my numbers up and not falling behind. And we seem to be doing an alright job at the moment. And I'm just putting a few pillboxes in the base. It's not really to do too much damage. It is just really annoying for the other player though. And it does work well against infantry. And as you can see, it looks like it's pretty much over for them, and they're out of the game. So that's a big win for me at the moment, because what it means is I'll have a chance to build up my forces, and I'll also have another ore patch to work with, which is really important because you want to really expand. And we can see the player in the bottom middle has been defeated, and this is a player from the bottom right. So I'm just going to defend against this. You can see he's using light tanks. He's got a few infantry as well, and it looks like I'll be able to deal with this okay at the moment. And you can see he's actually going up to the top of the map, so it looks like he's not too interested in me at the moment, which is a good thing, because I'm going to want to investigate the middle of the map myself. But first of all, I'm just getting another ore refinery down, because you can see I'm actually struggling with the ore at the moment. So I'm just moving on to this next ore patch, just to make sure my war factories can keep on producing fully. And you can see my tanks are starting to build up at the now. And I've also built another ore truck. And there's my teammate in the top left, who seems to have quite a bit. It's quite hard to get to his position in the top left. There's a lot of cliffs and stuff around there. It does make it a bit easier to defend though, because it's quite hard for other teams to get to. Really, you're looking at, if you're in the top left, the other team you usually fight against is the top right player. And sometimes the person who's in the middle on the gems, but they tend to fight more the players lower down on the map. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a radar dome. It's quite useful in situations like this, where I want to attack a player, like in this case I'm looking at the top of the map because I want to go to where the gem island is, but I also need vision on the right hand side to see if the bottom right player attacks me. Now what we're doing here is, you'll see I'm building a naval yard, which is quite unusual, and the reason I'm doing that, I'm just going to pull, well, I was going to pull back here. It looks like the other team is fighting against other players at the moment, and that's what you need to do really. You need to harass the middle player. So the reason I'm building the naval yard though is because I'm going to build a couple of destroyers, and that's because if people are mining gems, it's across a bridge that the trucks need to go to get to the gem island, and I can use these boats to destroy the bridge. Now it looks like this player's coming for me, and you can see he's got a lot of pink heavy tanks, and he is playing as the Soviets, and you can see what I'm going to use is force fire, and that will just mean my destroyers are going to destroy that bridge, and that'll stop him from mining the valuable gems. And you can see his ore trucks are going over. This could work really well actually, because we could potentially trap the gems over at the other side of the bridge. And you can see he's got a lot of heavy tanks here, and this could be quite hard to defend. Yeah, and the thing is, he's just had a lot of time to mine the gems, and when you mine the gems, not only does it mean you have loads of ore, what you do is you get more war factories, and you can just build tanks that much faster. And you can see I've destroyed the bridge, and possibly I've got some of his ore trucks stuck over at the other side. And this is not looking too good for me at the moment. You can see he does outnumber me quite drastically at the moment. And you can see I've got a few pillboxes here, but to be honest, the pillboxes don't really do much against heavy tanks. It's more light tanks that pillboxes are effective against. And you can see they're being taken down quite easily. I mean, turrets can do a bit of damage as well, but they take longer to build. And yeah, I've just not had enough time in this situation. What I needed to happen really was for him to stay at his base and then to destroy the bridge, and then I could have possibly started catching up with tanks, as long as I got my economy sorted okay. And you can see it's just destroying my buildings and working down my base, and I don't really have enough to defend with at the moment. And you can see I am quite low on ore as well, and it doesn't look like this one's going to be my day. You can see I've got a war factory there, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much use, as I can't really build anything. And he's got rid of my construction yard, and wow, just in time, he's been defeated. So I have got like about, well, I've pretty much got nothing left. And there's my ally who's obviously attacked him. You can see the player in the top right has been defeated also. Problem is now it leaves one more team, and I've got nothing. And if we look at Darren, he's pretty much, well, he's got like a single war factory, but it looks like his construction yard has been taken out. So unfortunately he's not in a good position, and I've only got a couple of tanks left. So yeah, pretty much it's over for now. We might just take a look in our opponent's base to see what they've got left, but I'm pretty sure they'll have a lot more than what we've got. So yeah, I'm just taking my ore trucks just to do scouting, because they're not going to be no use anymore. And even if we were able to get a crate, I don't know if we had crates enabled, but even if we were able to get a crate, then we'd still need to catch up. But as you can see, they've got loads of light tanks, they've got lots of buildings, they've got multiple war factories, multiple ore refineries. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind it on, because I think it's clear from this point that we're not going to be able to win this, even if it was just bottom right. But they've also got another player on their team. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.